owing on it, that will be your security or collateral that I will hold in order to do business with you. They break open your house one thing, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well hear this now, Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go, it come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-Boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change, and thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Saieed Ali, I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, we are live on Synergy Network. We're also live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. Remember that, viewers. Tobago fisher folks affected by the oil spill may soon be able to return to their fishing depot in Lambu a month after a barge run aground off the coast of Cove on February 7th, spilling bunker fuel into the sea. The fishermen were temporarily relocated to the food hub Felicity Food Hub in Scarborough. Now, Director of Tobago Emergency Management Association, Alan Stewart, said the team is finally regaining control of the area, which is good. Glad to hear that. He stated that they are at the point where he can tell the fisher folks they can return to Lambu is getting to where it ought to be. Progress, that is what you call progress, viewers. Now, Alan said the island is still working out its waste management system and added that the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industry is considering another method to contain and retrieve the remaining fuel inside the barge out at sea. To date, the team has collected 39,737 barrels of liquid waste and 10,990 cubic metric of solid waste. Cleanup at Scarborough is at an advanced stage with a power washing of trapped hydrocarbon along the shoreline and pavement works ongoing. So Trinidad and Tobago, all seems good so far for Tobago. Nevertheless, so viewers, remember we are Real Talk Credit Union. We are open to the public now. We have all our license, as we would say, all our registration. Now you can come and open a savings account, buy shares, and even a fixed deposit. Now viewers, Real Talk Credit Union might be the only credit union going up the Caribbean. I want to let you understand that. I want to let you understand that. I am a man with a vision. I started this about 3 years ago. 2 years ago, we started Preston more when we got everything in place. So now, viewers, we are open to you. Remember, come join us. Be a member, open a savings account, buy shares, and even a fixed deposit. Like I said, we have the fixed deposit rate. Let me tell you something that is unbelievable. Real Talk presently have a 4% going on right now, where it is the highest interest rate that is being paid in any financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember that, viewers. Open a 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years fixed deposit and gain more interest rate than any other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, viewers, we are licensed. We're doing business up the Caribbean now. So our office open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. On screen is our phone number, viewers. Remember, call the office, set up an appointment, come down. We are located at number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas with a sub-office at San Fernando, 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. Remember, viewers, I'm also a licensed money lender. You can do business with me also. Remember that. Moving on to our program. Residents of Kernaham, Trace in Conopia, are still without water almost a week after they staged a protest to highlight supply problems in the area. Last week, the residents blocked part of Chin Chin Road and complained that they did not have a steady supply of water for the past 7 years. One resident described it as racketeering, as there are persons who are receiving a steady water supply while they are not. Another resident also stated
that they are forced to either buy water or call for truck-borne water. Meanwhile, the Water and Sewerage Authority, WASA, said the water shortage was caused by the harsh dry season and reduced water production at the Caroni Water Treatment Plant, and promised that supply would be restored to the community. Now, viewers, while all this is taking place, Sevilla Golf Course. Video? The viewers, while there's a ban on the usage of hose, there is water being wasted at the Sevilla Golf Course in Cook. The viewers, if you look closely, you can see the water wasting. Closer where the tree is, you will see the water wasting. Look at it. So I just want the authorities to know. If you didn't know, well, now you know. Now, there are many bans, but me, I am telling you, paying for water, I'm going to tell you something. I am not going to let any WASA police charge me, because I am paying for this water. You cannot tell me, viewers, how to use my water. Because I could tell you something. Last week, remember Mocha Golf Course? We saw that it was watering. They were watering the lawns. Imagine that, eh? Paula, good night.
Good night, Saeed. This is the imitation vaccine vegan. A couple of things I want to talk. I want to, you see, tomorrow's essay, and to wish all the students who do an essay success.
Yes.
But I want to ask the police if they prepare for a cyber attack on any institution, because now long they have to reserve some cyber attack at presentation and all over the thing. So there's a simple one for them, because they're supposed to gather all the information, investigating, to try to mitigate that. That's the first one. The second most heinous thing I hear, the Children's Authority. Apparently a number of the girls has become pregnant in that institute. And I hear a minister say, hear what she's saying, eh? She ain't too smart. She's saying preliminary result shows it is not the staff. What that tells me? That tells me nothing. That tells me you have ancillary staff and you have visitors. And if you have ancillary staff and visitors, you have to investigate them too. And to be conclusive, she has to do DNA testing of everybody who's possible into that. That's the only way you can mitigate it from happening and bring the perpetrators, because I'm going back to the SABGA 1997 report. I'm going back to Judah Jones report. It's the same thing recurring. I'm going back to Akil Chambers. Why do they not want to thoroughly investigate the abuse of our children in the zone? Who they protecting? They say a fella from north and south, and he's short and sucky and here curly here. Who they protecting? They say Psalm 33, the valley, you know, that thing. They identify people, and Sabga said a political party was involved. I go inside, I real vex. Have a nice day.
Thank you, my friend. Let me tell you something, eh? They should have a thorough investigation into the Children Authority. Because, I mean, young girls getting pregnant in a home, something is definitely wrong. It is definitely wrong. The girls now have to come out and say, who is the person? Now, this is where now the police department in Trinidad and Tobago needs to protect that individual. So viewers, this is a serious thing that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. It's developing. We need answers. Children Authority have to come out now and let Trinidad and Tobago know the real facts and what is taking place. This is where the police have to step in now and be serious. It's not no skin and grin thing, you know. You can tell me you're a child, you're a female, you're not a children home. You are being taken care of and boom shot, you get pregnant and nobody know who the child father is? Nah, something wrong there. Something wrong there. So we're expecting the police now to do proper police work. And if you're underage, well, they know what to do. Moving along, viewers, the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amy Brown, have stated that the Penal Debe residents have been promised restoration of their water supply within 24 to 72 hours. Penal Debe Regional Corporation Chairman Gautam Maharaj previously said there was an urgent need of fund for the annual water trucking program, which service residents who are not WASA customers across 28 communities, as well as those who reside at high points. Maharaj said that with a total allocation of $700,000 disaggregated into 14 areas, the fund should have been released since the start of the dry season. The 2-month delay in significantly affecting the residents, and he is calling on the Minister of Finance to release the funds now. However, Brown reminded the population that WASA had implemented a dry season plan with new water schedule, as there are also continuous monitoring of water availability for effective distribution to customer. Listen to this.
Mr. President, as is customary, the Water and Sewerage Authority has developed and has already begun the implementation of a dry season plan to mitigate the impact of this dry season. The plan involves several water management strategies, including the continuous monitoring of water availability, rainfall, storage levels, and production for effective distribution to customers, the optimization of water production and distribution through mitigation measures, the intensification of water trucking in all areas affected by water shortage, water scheduling and monitoring, and conservation measures. Specifically with respect to the Penal Debe area, these areas have a deficit between supply and demand, coupled with dry season conditions at this time.
Now Trinidad and Tobago. In addition, there is an intensification of water trucking in areas affected by WASA shortage or WASA not providing water in taps for these areas. Brown also added that WASA has increased production at the Caroni Water Treatment Plant from 35 million gallons of water per day to 40 million gallons to meet the schedules in the Penal Debe supply zone. Listen to this.
With respect to immediate measures, WASA has already ramped up production at the Caroni Water Treatment Plant from 35 million imperial gallons of water daily to 40 million imperial gallons of water daily to meet the schedules in the Penal Debe supply zone. Additionally, the Water and Sewerage Authority has ramped up water production at the Navet Water Treatment Plant from 18 million imperial gallons of water daily to 20 million imperial gallons of water daily to meet the demands in the same areas as mentioned already. Thank you, Mr. President.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to talk about a little thing or two that Brown could have done. But after this break, we're going to have that discussion.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Tobago. Marvin Gonzalez is the Minister of Public Utility. Every year, we go through the same thing. 2 seasons, a rainy season and a dry season. Around the dry season, Wassa always putting a ban on hose. So I want to ask Marvin Gonzalez, all these hundreds of millions of dollars that have been allocated to Wassa to spend, how much will it cost to dig a dam? How much will it cost? The government have county lands all over Trinidad. Thousands of acres of land that is not being used. Paula, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Mr. Saheed, I am from Gasperlo, and 2 months I pay for water to get connection. I'm not getting it. I don't know what is the problem they have. I went and find, they said they book up. And water wasting all about in Allen Street.
Thank you, my dear. So, Marvin, how much is it going to cost to dig a dam to collect water? This is your field. This is your portfolio. Did you and your ministry ever sat down and have a meeting to come up with a figure of how much it will cost to dig a dam? You don't need a contractor for that. You don't. Corporations throughout Trinidad have backhoe excavators and truck. You don't need to hire a contractor. All you need is a proper engineer. That is all you need to construct this dam to collect water during the rainy season. Now, Marvin, I am telling you this because it's common sense. If you have 5 dams servicing Trinidad, and during the rainy season, 2 dries up, you only have 3. Common sense will tell you now, Marvin, that you need additional dam. Am I not right? Am I not correct? So Marvin, what you need to do now is you and your executive members and them who apparently don't have common sense to know that, hey, if you have 5 dam service in Trinidad and 2 dries up during the rainy season, the dry season, which means you need additional dam to collect water. So probably you all could sit down with an engineer, since WASA have engineers, and create a plan. Because I am definitely sure all the corporations throughout Trinidad and Tobago, then I should say, they have trucks, they have excavator, they have barcodes. Common sense, you call that, Marvin. Common sense was made before books. That I will tell you, Marvin. So don't let the book sense and being the Minister of Public Utilities, don't let that get to your brain. Because non-performance in our portfolio being a minister, people will start laughing at you. And I will tell the whole world that, hey, you are a minister, but you lack performance in your field. And you know how sting that is? You know how sting that is, Marvin, knowing that a popular station in Trinidad that is being shown right around the world, lighting up a minister for having no common sense. You are not only being called a non-performing minister with a portfolio in Trinidad, but all around the globe they are hearing your name, Marvin Gonzalez, the Minister of Public Utilities and non-performance. A simple thing you and your engineers cannot come up with is an allocation of land to dig a dam. And you know what? Currently have thousands of land sitting doing absolutely nothing throughout Trinidad. So that's a little common sense, Marvin. A little common sense. Because apparently, like your hand on, you only have book sense. Moving along, viewers. We're not to Sinanan now. As he sought to explain how the government is addressing flood mitigation in the Central Region, Minister for Works and Transport, Rohan Sinanan, has declared he was not Jesus and could not predict future of flooding. Sinanan addressed questions posed to him about the clearing of watercourses and the fixing of landslides in the central area. He revealed that the watercourse at Las Lomas, El Carmen, St. Helena, Kelly Village, and Warrenville will be cleared by the end of March, well ahead of the rainy season. When asked by Dr. Richard Cicheran whether the maintenance work would be sufficient to prevent flooding, Sinanan responded by saying that ministry will do what it has to be done, but he could not guarantee there will be no flooding, else his name would have been Jesus. Let's listen to this.
Minister, are you confident that the maintenance works will be sufficient to prevent major flooding during the rainy season later on in this year?
Minister of Works and Transport.
Mr. Speaker, that question is a trick question. The ministry will do what it has to do to minimize flooding in all areas. We are cleaning the water courses, but I cannot guarantee the member of parliament that there will be no flooding. And my name would have been, they might call me Jesus. Thank you.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we understand that Rohan Sinanan is not Jesus. We know that. But nevertheless, now I'm going to tell you something. Water courses do not have to be cleaned only during the crop. But during the rainy season in Trinidad and Tobago, we need a structure. We need a planned structure. If you just say you're planning for the dry season to clean water course, just so you need to maintain the water course in the rainy season. Because I will tell you something now, we as Trinidadians, you see we old fridge and we old TV and we washing machine and thing, we like to go and throw it in rivers. I'm not picking no side this evening. We like to throw it by the river or in the river. We have some garbage bag, we're looking for a river running in a lonely road, and we go down and throw the garbage bag right there. So some of the floodings in Trinidad is caused by us humans, us Trinidadians. Because the corporation have trucks that will pass and pick up our washing machine, our old washing machine. Speaking on the annual distilling program that are ongoing to help reduce flooding, Sinanan stated that his ministry has targeted 151 projects in Central. He noted that the works being done in January and will continue, and said the cleaning the watercourse will not guarantee that there will be no flooding, but Sinanan is going to do his best. Now, I cannot blame Rohan Sinanan for this. Now, he is trying. I am seeing in Central area that there are excavators working cleaning the watercourse. But, Rohan, I want you during the rainy season also, send out your team to see where the flooding is taking place and what we need to do in order to make sure the watercourse is clean. Also for us Trinidadians, don't go and block up the river with our old TV and our couch and some garbage bag. Don't do that. Because when you do that, it's your house being affected together with the neighbors. Understand that. I want to let you understand that. Heading down south. The head of the South Oropouche Ravine Flood Action Group. Now, the head is Edward Moody, is calling on the Ministry of Works to clear the South Oropouche River to prevent widespread flooding in the upcoming rainy season. In a video, Moody showed the blocked river. He said the banks had previously been breached and this caused major flooding in the area, and attempts to repair the waterway. He added that the weight of the machinery on the banks forced mud from under the wall into the river, which significantly raised the bed, preventing water from flowing. Moody said he sent videos of the issues to the contractor and calling on the ministry to bring the equipment and clean it because the water is going to back up. Pinal Bay Regional Corporation Chairman Mr. Maraj also stated that the river falls under the remit of the Works and Transport Ministry. He said the Pinal Bay will dispatch an engineer to assess the situation and will work with the ministry to rectify an issue that arise. So viewers, there are groups in Trinidad and Tobago that is reaching out to the ministry, reaching out to the corporation in their area to make sure that water courses are cleaned, to make sure river banks are taken care of. Whether you drench it, whether you reinforce it, whatever you need to do, whether you need to build it higher, whatever it is you need to do, now is the time to do it. And during the rainy season, they need a maintenance crew to make sure that that causeway of water is being taken care of. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, you will hear Pancham Garden residents want repair works rectified after flooding in their community after this.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back, viewers. 3 years after a raging flood from the Bodnav River began threatening their homes, residents of the Pancham Garden breathed a sign of relief when the Works Minister began slope stabilization work on the riverbank. However, just 5 months after the project started, residents say they are worse off. They claim the stabilization work were not done up to standard and led to future damage of their properties. With an overly active rainy season forecasted, residents fear their home will fall into the river if the matter is not rectified soon. The basket placed by the contractor were lower than expected, and the river cannot flow as the contractor had paved part of the river, making it higher on one end. So whoever was the contractor for this job, hear what Rohan Sinana needs to do now. Come back to me there. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, too many times we have contractor in our country that doesn't care about the outcome of their projects. Or is it that the engineer doesn't care how the work is being done as long as it is completed and money is paid? So, I'll tell you something. Before I go there, in Guyana, I'll say this, because I have business in Guyana, sometimes 2 times or 3 times for the week. For the week, I am in Guyana. Every week, I am in Guyana, 2 days, 3 days, 1 day. Every week. This started since September last. Now, I'll tell you something. September, October, November, December, January, February, and March. We'll make it 7 months now. I am in Guyana, Real Talk Finance. And there was a company from Trinidad doing some road works in Guyana. And they thought they could have done what they do in Trinidad and get away with it. In Guyana. They thought they could have just, how we say, fly by night and got away with it in Guyana. You know what? The Guyanese government presently is telling them, it's either you fix it back or we carry you to court. that is what the Guyanese government said to this contract. In Trinidad, contractors in our country do what they feel is best. As long as it is completed and the money is passed, that's all they're meddling with. What about quality control? What about the supervision of these works? Who is passing these jobs on them? Who from the Ministry of Works and Transport is holding these contractors responsible? Who? So this is where we would call now in Trinidad, you'll get a 649. So put back up that picture, direct. So now according to reports, the basket placed by the contractor was lower than expected, and the river cannot flow as the contractor had paved part of the river, making it higher on one end. One resident called for a full investigation. He stated that in October 2023, a total of 3,000 baskets was supposed to be placed, but to date, there were less than 250 baskets. So now Trinidad and Tobago, now Rohan Sinanan. This complaint is coming from the villagers of Pancham Garden, where after 3 years of flood from the Bodna River, it has begun to threaten their home again. So who was the contractor, Rohan? I am asking you on national television, who is the contractor that did this job? Are you, Mr. Rohan, are you going to hold that contractor responsible for this shitty ass? Almost going there now. Are you, Rohan, going to hold this contractor responsible for this dog walk that they did? Are you going to hold them responsible for this? I don't know the contractor, but the people are complaining, right? One neighbor complained. In 2023, he stated a total of 3,000 baskets was supposed to be placed, but to date, there was at least or less than 250 baskets. So Rohan, who's going to hold this contractor responsible? The people of Pancham Garden or you? Who offered this contractor the job? Who was there to supervise this job from the ministry? Nobody. So the contractor do what they want. They do what they want. And this in Trinidad, viewers, this in Trinidad and Tobago now is what we getting. We always getting a 649. Even the bloody hell roads in Trinidad, we can't get it paved proper. We can't. Taxpayers paying tax, the ministry spending money, high-end contractors, and nobody to look after the contractor work. Everybody looking for something in their pocket or what? I don't know, I'm asking. I'm asking that. Everybody getting something in their pocket? Or is it that somebody is responsible for this work and turning a blind eye on this side? I am asking. How long are we going to put up with this nonsense in our country? How long? How long, Trinidad and Tobago? Mr. Rohan, how long? How long you yourself are going to turn a blind eye to the citizens who are crying out where contractors supposed to do work and hitting us at 659? How long? Caller, good night.
Yes, sir, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Saeed, you see we talk about quality control?
Yes.
Like the key words there, they have nothing like that in the ministry, right? Nothing. Concerning on this property tax bill, I want to touch on it if I could do that right now.
Go right ahead.
Tell me, listen, right? I was looking at certain contributions from the opposition towards this amendment to the property tax bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that the property tax, when you pay this tax, depending on what kind of land your property is on, if it's agricultural land, residential land, commercial, whatever it is, do you know that only the commercial, only the residential land, the taxes going to the corporation?
Yes.
So where is the other taxes going? And do you know that the finance minister, they make a clause in the amendment stating that he could raise the percentage without going to parliament?
Correct.
Do you know that?
Correct.
Do you know he could raise that percentage without going to parliament to get any approval, to have any accountability for the money that they're using on the side?
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something again. If it is a corporation getting $5 million from central government to run that constituency that they cover for the year, and in property tax they get $3 million, do you know the government is only going to give them $2 million? So you tell me how this property tax going to work out in favor of the citizens, because they're only going to end up back with the same $5 million, and you're going to be starved for the resources in your community. So it's not making sense. They only come in here to tax people, to take people money, to spend it, and to how to put it, by they're only going to squander public funds.
Squander taxpayers' dollars.
Exactly. And let me tell you something, sir. If this government was in favor of the best interest of the citizens of this countryside, all these big mega projects that are going on right now, this housing development they're going to start in Cora, we don't really need that. We need that right now. The airport in Tobago, we need that. That roundabout by wall, we didn't need all of that.
One more thing, caller. The building houses for citizens, but HGC cannot collect $100 rent from somebody who have been living there 5 years now.
Exactly. You can't even collect rent from your building, where you build it, with taxpayers dollars on government land. You can collect that rent, but you come and tax a man who sacrificed and built his own property out of his own pocket. You don't know what that man went through to build that property, but you come and tell him now that you have to pay that tax. Let me tell you something, sir, and I hope people listen. People do not go and pay this tax, you know. Because once I just start this, you remember we call a member do it gas.
Correct.
Once, you raise it twice, you raise it 3 times.
Yes.
What's going on stop him from raising property tax from 2% to 4% to 6% till they cannot pay it? All they better know what they're doing now, you know. Because if they start paying this property tax, they're not stopping it. Anyway, sir, you enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. And this, viewers, is what I have been telling you all. Let me tell you something. I said it bold and brave on national television. I did not send in no application for property tax. I did not. I did not. And I have no intentions of filling out any application or signing any application to send. I am not doing it because Colin Members cannot come in Parliament and pass a bill to make sure that those who own multi-story dwelling apartment building, to make sure that these people don't pay tax. But you take a loan for 50 years to build a house, I had to come and pay tax now? And you get exempted? No, to hell with that. I am not going to pay no tax for no property. Caller, good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
I said this on many calling program, Breaking Dawn, Real Talk with Saieed Ali and whatnot. And I want to ask you a question. If part of your roof is collapsing, your toilet not working, you have problems in your residence, what you going to do?
That's
Hello?
it?
Hello?
Yeah, you're asking me what am I going to do?
Yeah. Are you going to... Okay, let me make it simple. Do you think now is the right time to build an additional room or buy a new car or repair the existing
I will repair
situation
the
and make it
existing.
livable? So why are we spending $191 million to build houses in Cora when we have thousands of HDC units
put down doing nothing,
that need fixing? Why they don't do that? Why they didn't spend the $191 million and fix the houses and distribute that to people?
Correct.
I am telling myself, in next to Cora where they're doing that, I know the place, and I want to believe that is to put their people to, that is to pander to get votes. All the best. Have a great evening.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to the farmers now in Trinidad and Tobago after this.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, we are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. It's Ramadan time in our country and around the world. Now, as I always say this, I don't like to boast, but I love to talk about the blessings that God has given to me. And I just tell people, you see, charity has paved the way. Since the beginning of Ramadan, I have said on my program that Real Talk is giving out hampers, right? We always do give out hampers. All you have to do is call the office, give them your name, and they will tell you when to come. Because we are doing it in an orderly manner. I am not going to say, you know what, Friday I giving out hampers and I had 200 people in front of my building and I only have 100 to give out. No, I am not doing that. I do things in an orderly way. In an orderly way. Now, because of the fact that God has blessed me tremendously over the years, I do give out a lot. My staff knows that. We do help out a lot of people in need. For the whole month of Ramadan, I will be giving out hampers. All you have to do is call the office, put down your name. That's all you have to do. You know, some people, they say, the bread coming down closer and they just don't want to grab it. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I grabbed the bread, and the bread have nurtured me. My barrel is overflowing, and I am thankful for that. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We're about 10 minutes again before the song, 6 minutes before the song starts. Okay, 5. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I'll tell you something. I go pause off on the rest on the rest of the news that I have for tonight. But I want to tell you something. I came from a hard-working background. When I finished school, I want to tell you this in this month so you would understand how God blessed me. When I finished school, I started to work in a grocery. Being a laborer in a grocery. Until I turned a supervisor in a grocery. Now, in that grocery, working as a laborer, I started to further my account. Because I did POA and POB. And when the boss man realized, I asked for time off to continue doing my principle of accounts and principle of business. He said, Saeed, I need you to come up in the office to work. I want to open your mind some. Since you're in the accounting field, his grocery need accountant. His grocery need accountant. And I started. I got my time off to go, classes, graduated, and from there I started to climb the ladder. Hard work. Like I said, I've been working 16 and 17 hours a day for the last umpteen years. Umpteen years. And I will tell you something, God has always placed people in my life to make sure that I become successful. I was a bright student in class, from primary school, straight up until junior sec school and then secondary school, and then doing courses and things. So I am well educated. I speak in 6 different languages. God has blessed me, let me tell you something, with 6 different tongues. I mean, I only have one in my mouth, you understand? But 6 different roles and rhythm. Arabic, Urdu, Sanskrit, Hebrew, Greek, and English. This same Saieed Ali on TV. Those are the language that I speak in. And I am very, very blessed and fortunate to be in this position. Very blessed. Now, long ago, it was tough in Trinidad. It was tough. We grew up, I used to wear slippers. I am not ashamed to tell you that. I used to wear a slipper. Today I am wearing sneakers that is $2,000 and $3,000. I am wearing brand name shoes, $2,000 and $3,000, sometimes $4,000. I am wearing brand watches, $4,000 and $5,000 for a watch. You understand? You know why? Now, I'll tell you something. Somebody would say, oh, Saeed, you have money, you could buy a $5,000 watch or a $3,000 shoes. No, let me tell you something. The sacrifice I sacrifice, you wouldn't do it. When I up 4 o'clock in the morning and going to sleep 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the night, you're not doing that. From the time sun, if you leave home 6 o'clock, by the time 9 o'clock, you want to go back home. So when you see me with a $5,000 watch and you see me with a Benz or a Porsche or a Range Rover, know that Saeed working long hours. Let me tell you something. God have always placed somebody in my pathway to make sure that Saeed learn what he have to learn and he climb the ladder. And I've been doing that. God have blessed me tremendously. Tremendously. Lending money. I got my license and started lending money because I into accounts, I into money. That's my finance is my thing. You understand? I grow into it. I started lending money for a number of years. I have money lender's license long time. Long time. I started lending and started developing and started expanding. Expanding this, expanding that, registered company. Even if I'm a sole trader, I registered and I start something here, I start something there, I start something there. So you have a little income coming here, a little income coming here, and a little income coming here. You understand? So that is where I come from. Today, I got, not today, but 2 weeks ago now, we got our registration for Real Talk Credit Union. We licensed. Now I am the president. So where I came from wearing slippers on my foot, let me tell you something. God has blessed me tremendously. Tremendous. So that is just part, viewers, of where I come from. So this is Ramadan time, and for the Muslims in Trinidad and Tobago, we have prepared this beautiful song just for you.
الشوق بنا والآن قد آن الأوان أن تسعدنا يا رمضان. ها قد زينا المكان بالنور والألوان ومصلانا والقرآن. يا بشرانا بالهلال بالنور والجمال أقبل يا شهر الغفران بالبركات والإيمان والحب والسلام. جئت لتحيينا رمضان. للمغرب روح ونساء نتسابق من يفطر صائم. تهفو مسامعنا والقلب ليعانق صوت الأذان. يتجلى وقت الإفطار والحب بأرجاء الدار. نتجمع حول المائدة والأذكار بكل لسان. أهلا أهلا يا رمضان. طال الشوق بنا والآن قد آن الأوان أن تسعدنا يا رمضان. ها قد زينا المكان بالنور والألوان ومصلانا والقرآن. يا بشرانا بالهلال بالنور والجمال أقبل يا شهر الغفران بالبركات والإيمان والحب والسلام. جئت لتحيينا رمضان. ومآذن بالنور تلالت وبضيف الرحمن تعالت. لتعانق بالحب هلالا ويعانقها بالعنان. وصلاة التراويح تروح هما داخلنا وتلوح بحنين دفء وشعور يسمو بها فوق المكان. أهلا أهلا يا رمضان. طال الشوق بنا والآن